Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to talk a bit about philosophy. I won't delve too deeply into it, but just enough to make fun of a certain troll who likes to think themselves a philosopher and spews a lot of word salad that he obviously doesn't quite understand. I'm talking about Atheism, 1981. He used to go by an alt at apotheosis, but then he changed his alt to this new one at this stuff get knuckin' futs, or we just like to call him Futs for short. We used to call him Apot, and he had been notorious for being a toxic, bigoted troll on the atheist experience comment section. And like a lot of theist trolls, he likes to declare different things about atheism. Most of the time, they just conflate it with science. And they think that by debunking well-established sciences, they disprove atheism, and they think that means that their God automatically comes into existence. But since they like to conflate science with atheism, Futz says that all atheists are naturalists. And he calls out methodological naturalism, which says that science can explain the world using material processes, and metaphysical naturalism, which is more radical and claims that there is only material processes. Now, metaphysical naturalism is sometimes called ontological naturalism, and these are generally referred to as philosophical naturalism. And as you can see in this paper by Barbara Forrest on the two different types of naturalism, if you read here, it says, it talks about I examine the question whether methodological naturalism entails philosophical, and in parentheses, ontological or metaphysical naturalism. Futz apparently doesn't know this, so when I referred to philosophical naturalism, he got all pissy and stressed that he's talking about metaphysical naturalism and not philosophical naturalism, as if they're two different things. So right away, we see that we're dealing with someone very knowledgeable in philosophy, assuming he's just a toddler playing at being a philosopher. He also claims that atheism is inevitably solipsistic, and he demonstrates that he knows what he's talking about by naming ontological and epistemological solipsism. The problem is that naturalism and solipsism are inherently incompatible, and Futz, not understanding much philosophy and unable to think beyond what ChatGPT tells him, thinks that that is not true. But even when I explain it to him in the simplest manner, he doesn't get it. Here's an example of the kind of word salad he spews to demonstrate that he doesn't know what he's talking about. He says your ontological stance is extremely limited because of atheism, which is not right, since atheism isn't an ontological stance. What's worse is that the atheistic state of mind is epistemological solipsism. Again, that doesn't make sense. And he claims that means that we're stuck with physicalism, which I'll get to in terms of discussing why that is a completely false statement. And then he misdefines epistemological solipsism. He says, it claims it cannot know anything supernatural or non-physical, including other minds that are supernaturally interwoven or entangled with nature. So he posits nature here, even though we're talking about solipsism. Of course, this is not at all what solipsism is. And he makes a different comment here where he makes it even more clear that he doesn't understand what it is. He says that naturalism has no ontological preference, so any type of naturalism is compatible with solipsism. And the reason why that's wrong is that naturalism posits an objective external reality that's independent of the mind, and that this external reality is knowable. Specifically, it can be explained in terms of natural laws and processes. And so naturalism does have an ontology, which is basically reality. there is an external objective reality. Solipsism, on the other hand, and I'll limit it to epistemological solipsism as Futz focuses on this. And so epistemological solipsism, what it says is that only one's own mind is truly knowable. And not only is it that it's not possible to know the external reality, but we can't even know if there is such thing as an external reality, which is very contrary to naturalism. And so that's really all there is. It doesn't take a philosophy genius to understand this, but apparently you need to be more than a toddler pretending to be a philosopher to understand this. And because Futz stubbornly refuses to accept this, he will just keep doubling down on his wrong stance. But as demonstrated, he is ignorant of basic philosophical thinking. So QED, which is quote era demonstrandum and not quantum electrodynamics, as a certain toddler philosopher mistakenly thought. So that'll do it for this video. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. And please join me on my weekly live stream on Saturdays at 8 p.m. US Central. And until then, I will see you in the comments.